it shows. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Mama in the kitchen, we never eat alone. Primarily me, the taste of home.
Prime Mill Meal, pure, proudly Zambian, the taste of home.
When news breaks, we are already there. Welcome to Ptv2 Zambia, the channel that never sleeps. From community stories in your backyard to national headlines shaping the country and sports and international updates that keep you ahead, we bring it all to your screen. 24/7 news, fast, reliable, unmatched. Catch us on Topstar, channel 110. Watch live on Facebook, Ptv2 Zambia. Prime TV2 Zambia, your window to the nation, your gateway to the world.
Good morning, Zambia. Good morning, Africa. You're watching the Prime Sunrise Breakfast Show coming to you live on Topstar Channel 110 and streaming live on our Facebook page. That is Ptv2 Zambia.
Absolutely. We're definitely excited to be here this morning. Just the feeling of knowing that you have been watching and enjoying Prime TV2. And of course, we do not just serve the coffee, but we also do serve conversations that are meaningful. And of course, we would love you to participate this morning. Now, speaking about coffee, serving coffee, did you have your breakfast this morning?
Breakfast? Not really, though.
You're not a morning person.
No. But I'm going to have my breakfast after the show.
Oh, nice. Good one. Of course, the coffee has to be hot. So definitely we're going to be having a lot of interesting discussions right here on our Sunrise Breakfast Show. And also looking at how the weather is, we do know that it was raining in some parts of the country. I don't know if it was raining where you coming from.
I'm in the country, very close to where you are
Some
coming
parts
from.
of the country.
I mean, that's some part where it's closer to you. But yeah, we experienced some rains yesterday. It was pouring and it was, it was not consistent though, but it poured for it pours, then it stops, it pours and stops.
Yeah.
That's how actually the rain pattern was yesterday in the part of the country that I was in. Yeah, I was very close to Palamana, my hometown. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, obviously, Dominic, a lot of people think that a breakfast show is all about jokes and traffic updates, but we do know that we need to have meaningful conversations, early in the morning, especially to kickstart the day with, brilliant minds as you go to your different destinations, be it your workplace, be it you are watching us from home before you actually drive off to your workplace.
Actually, I'm very happy to have you on the show. It's the first time on the show, right?
Very much, I'm honored.
Yeah, it's the first time this year we're having you on the show. I'm honored.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here, by the way.
And you're wearing black just like I am wearing
Yeah.
black. I think I mentioned I'll be in black, and you're like, no, 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 no. But it's a good thing. So, Rhoda, tell me something. What has been on your mind this week?
What has been on my mind is, I was actually going through TikTok and I realized that a lot of people are coming up with brilliant ideas. I just recently learned some of the health benefits of different things like cloves, coffee, and lemons. I'm on my weight loss journey, so I
You
just
learned
discovered
about
that
cloves.
coffee and lemon, when you mix it, it works. It does some magic early in the morning.
Or when you mix coffee and lemon.
Yes.
Damn, like I've never. Okay, that's
You should
that's
try
a
it.
good thing. I would try it. I
Yeah.
would try it. So that's what has been on your mind this
Yes.
week: coffee and lemon
Coffee
and
and
TikTok.
lemon.
Okay, dear viewers, who want to hear what you're saying, you can follow us in the comments. You can follow us on Facebook and put your comment in the comment section. And you can also follow us on Ptv2 Zambia, that is on our YouTube page. Or you can follow and text or directly call on the number 0972 036 306, or that's 0972 036 306. But for now, let's look at the weather focus for today. Of course, Rhoda commented and talked about the rain yesterday. So those that are planning on stepping out, or those that have stepped out already and have carried their jumper or have not carried their jumper, let us show you how the day is and how the day is gonna be. Let's look at the weather focus for today.
My good.
Yeah, that was the weather forecast, and I bet now you know what to wear, and you know probably what and how to come out and what to expect today from the different parts of the country. And so we'll be joined by Darlington, a Lusaka-based psychologist, and we'll discuss men's mental health. Wow, that's a very serious topic we're going to discuss today. Men's lives matter. Rhoda.
They do matter. But also, this brings me to the question, how often do men open up?
We often open up.
How
all the
often do
time.
you open up?
You know, the thing is that it is very difficult to be a man because we are looked at as we are the pillars and we are the lions, you know. We don't break. And when we break, it's very difficult to break because everyone else is looking up to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite difficult, but we do break. We're actually weaker than you, you ladies. And there's a norm that says that's why we die fast, and that's
Yeah.
why we've got a lot of landlords who are women.
But obviously, that's true, by the way. But obviously, when you look at our upbringing, I think men are often taught to be strong. While women, we are told it's okay to cry, you are soft, you need to cry, you need to show emotion. But also, men are taught to be strong, and I think that is where it all starts from. When you're growing up, you think, no, as a man, I can't open up, I can't be soft because I'll be seen as weak. And these are the types of conversations that we should be having as society to let men know that it's okay sometimes to be vulnerable. I know convincing a whole lot of you men to be on that side.
So it's okay for us to cry. It's okay for us
It's
to
okay
cry.
for you to cry.
Ish.
You know.
I don't trust you, Rhoda. You can't tell me it's okay for me to cry. The whole lot of
Why?
Dominic Abili.
Why?
how will the people of Palawana look at me
You
when I
see?
start to cry?
And this is why men don't report a lot of GBV cases, especially to the authorities, because you feel like people will judge you, they'll think I'm weak, why
Just
would
like
a
I
woman
said,
beat me or
it's
violates
difficult
my rights?
for someone that is looked at as the protector, as the strength, to cry and to break. It's very difficult, Rod.
Do you think we need to be a little bit softer on men?
How do
As
you need to
society?
be? How do I go? The whole lot of me, I go to Palawana police post and say, no, I was raped last night. How would they? Colleagues.
I think those are conversations that we need to be having, and I'm so excited that we do have a guest today to speak about such issues, and from a professional psychological side also to let us know some of the things that really just come about with men's mental health. So today we need to let you know that you matter as a man, especially if you're going through a rough patch. I mean, it's normal to go through such.
Oh yeah.
All right, so as we do move on with our Sunrise Breakfast show this morning, it's also very important to have a look at what's happening, especially in our news this morning. Now, let's have a look at what's making headlines. One of the stories that is actually making headlines, especially in our news and social media, Matero Member of Parliament Mouse Sampa has pleaded not guilty to one count of using a computer system to commit an offense, contrary to Section 20 of the Cyber Crimes Act. Now, Lusaka resident magistrate Webster Milumbe read out the charge to Mr. Sampa, who confirmed that he understood the allegation but also denied committing the offense, entering a plea of not guilty. Magistrate Milumbe granted Mr. Sampa bail of 1 million kwacha on his own recognizance following a successful bail application. So the matter has been adjourned to February 2026 for the commencement of trial. Our reporter has more details.
Trial is expected to commence in a matter that Matero Member of Parliament, Mao Sampa, is charged with the use of a computer system for offences contrary to Section 20 of the Cyber Crimes Act. He has since pleaded not guilty to one count after Lusaka magistrate Webster Milumbe read out the charge to him, which he stated that he understood but denied committing it, and a plea of not guilty has been entered. Magistrate Milumbe has granted the accused person 1 million kwacha bail in his own recognizance after his bail application succeeded, which bail requires him to also provide 2 working sureties who are also bound in the same like sum of 1 million kwacha each. Allegations in this matter are that Sampa, on the 15th of January 2026, had posted on his Facebook page named Mouse Sampa that, quote, Chawama residents tipped us that ECZ had created an illegal polling station at Lilai Road and a non-MP was seen ferrying voters. We have reported the matter to police. Abash rigging, end of quote. The said posting is said to have been uploaded during the time that residents of Lusaka's Chawama constituency were casting their votes in the Chawama by-election. This matter has been adjourned to February 2nd and February 19th, 2026 for mention and commencement of trial respectively. Meanwhile, Sampa had rendered an apology to the Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ after the commission challenged him to provide evidence of the said mounting of an illegal polling station in Lilai. And Patriotic Front Acting President Given Lubinda, who led other party members, friends and family of Mr. Sampa, expressed their dismay on the fact that the accused has spent almost 2 days in police custody as his bond application was denied by police. Sampa's supporters have stated that it is important that all citizens are treated fairly, equally and in accordance with the law, despite their different political affiliations. Meanwhile, the Matero lawmaker has been released from custody after meeting all the bail conditions. Speaking upon his release, the lawmaker thanked members of the Patriotic Front and others who came out to support him during his court appearance.
We are glad that we have had your support to the Honorable's release, because your coming here has given even the public to know that this matter arose out of politics. But we will handle it in the way it has come. So we thank you very much. You should not worry about the 1 million bail. That is purely, definitely, it's a condition by the magistrate. Yes, and that we are not paying anything. let's not talk about it because we are still going into trial. We don't want to be quoted again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Council candidate Makebi. Thank you, MCCs who are here. Thank you, Amatero Bonse. Thank you, PF Bonse. God bless you. President General.
Reporting for Prime Television News, Namangolwa Mshokawanj. Trial is expected to commence in a matter that...
Right, so in some more news headlines this morning, Zambia Army Commander Lieutenant General Geoffrey Zille has defended his remarks on the need to exterminate illegal mining in Mfumbwe, saying security forces do fully understand the nature of the people they are dealing with. Now, Lieutenant General Zille says intelligence reports indicate that foreigners spearheading the illegal mining activities in the area are highly sophisticated, well organized, and in some cases possesses military backgrounds, posing a serious threat to national security. Speaking when he paid courtesy call on Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo, Lieutenant General Zille said his remarks were not meant to suggest indiscriminate use of force, but rather to underline the seriousness of the threat and the firm action required to dismantle organized criminal networks behind illegal mining.
Miners, we shall deal with them in a manner that we are mandated. The Army Commander is not saying, as part of the joint interagency operation, I'll go in Mfumbwe and open fire at anybody. We have targets that we are going to eradicate. And anybody, Honorable Minister, who is going to make a mistake of pointing a gun at the special forces, we will get rid of him. When the bullet leaves the barrel, we have no control over it. It will hit this guy, it will go to the next guy, and obviously we expect an injury. Our intelligence assessment has revealed that there are certain individuals with armament above 7.62 millimeters. 7.62 millimeters, Honorable Minister, is an AK-47. So there are individuals inside there whose weapons are above 7.62 millimeters. We have captured a sophisticated drone, Honorable Minister, which an average Zambian may not be able to use. There are signs that certain individuals who might have been handling explosives.
It's not an issue which will be politicized. We need to support the army. We need to support the security agencies to move in quickly and eradicate such characters. Because if we go in late, it will be too late for everyone. And it's not about President Hakainde, it's about the entire country.
Now we also have a look at what's happening in Kafue district. Residents of Chisankane are living in fear following the emergence of highly dangerous sinkholes in the area. Now, speaking during an inspection by experts from the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, the Ministry of Infrastructure and Kafue Town Council, Resident Joyce Soko revealed that sinkholes are appearing daily and predictably threatening properties and lives. So Mr. Soko recounted that a sinkhole appeared at her gate 3 years ago and had to be filled with 20 tons of stones, 5 tons of gravel, causing extensive damage to her property. Joanne Musabila has the details in the following report.
From the outward appearance, this looks like a tunnel, but these are geological factors. And one of the affected residents, Joyce Soko, explains that before the recent incident, her residence was affected by another sinkhole 3 years ago, which was only buried using 20 tons of stones and 5 tons gravel. She fears for her life and that of other residents as the sinkholes keep mushrooming every day.
It's very scary, these sinkholes. Almost 3 years ago, we had a very big one outside the gate. But we involved someone private to do the work. Now again, we have another one outside and inside. So it's very scary. Because we don't know, maybe anywhere in the yard, maybe there is one, you can't tell. Yeah.
Factor which needs further investigation by the experts. But we have observed that there are some loose soils. This could be historical. When they were creating these residents, this infrastructure here as housing units, maybe these voids, they were not compacting the soil fully. So due to that, there is, in Lusaka, there are those floods which, because of the excessive saturation, they cause erosion. They are very dangerous because you cannot predict.
Kafue Town Council Mayor Wumba Malambo led a team to assess the area and disclosed.
And because they are very deep, they are very, very dangerous for the kids that are going to school and even our road users. So as a council, have our own temporal measures, which is to backfill the stones and backfill and also just put the gravel on top. Yeah.
Among the areas that have been affected by the sinkholes or voids in Sakanewat, Kafue district include Chalala Rockview area, Mahope, Lilai and New, and residents have been warned to be cautious. Savila, Prime TV News, Kafue district.
All right, so those are some of the stories that are making headlines in our news. And of course, do expect a lot of updates as our broadcasting still goes on for the rest of the day, or let's say 24 hours.
Oh, yeah, 24 hours. Indeed.
What do we have in our papers this morning? Let's see what we have in our papers. What are people reading?
So let's start with the news diggers.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting headline we have in the news diggers.
Yeah.
HH needs bishops as Catholic leadership salutes his leadership.
Oh, yeah?
I think this is something quite very interesting.
Yeah.
Because we cannot do politics or we cannot lead without the church.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything begins from the church.
Absolutely.
So politics is actually everywhere.
Yeah.
I would even say politics is also in the church. So it's quite very important that leaders of Christ, leaders in different denominations, meet the people that are leading our country to help at least shape and give a proper narrative and even at least buckle up and interrogate those who are in charge of making sure that our lives are in order, that we are the currency is where it is, the economics of the country is where it is, and the price of fuel is also where it is, and also give checks and balances of how things are moving. There's also another headline that says, "We will eradicate armed criminals. Army commander clarifies." Ish, this is serious. Then it's foolishness to say I'm not Zambian, Luvinda. Interesting. In the world of politics, there's always something that's happening.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I just, I'm glad that the president did have a meeting with the Catholic bishops. Like you did say, it's very important for the church to also engage in issues that have to do with development, because the church really do have, a loud voice in terms of development and unity as well. Because I think if you're leading, a huge amount of people, it's definitely that you have to also have a voice in issues that have to do with development. So the discussion was around quite a number of relatable issues like development, national unity, and also the complementary roles of the church in terms of government. And we cannot also bypass the fact that this isn't an isolated incident that the president has had, because previously he did engage with the Catholic leaders in July 2023, where he met with ZCCB to discuss national development and also appreciate the church's counsel in terms of mediating between HH and his predecessor as well. We did see that, in the various meetings.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that is quite very, very interesting. And when you look at the Daily Nation, the Daily Nation newspaper, it gives a quite very interesting overview or report on what HH. So it's quite very. It's quite very straight, and it says HH meets with Southern Province Catholic Church leaders. That is what we have in the Daily Nation. Very interesting. It gives a very descriptive point of view and says he met only the Catholics from Southern Province. Then we have what Chishiwa says, give back PF to its true owners. He claims that other people who are masquerading to be leaders are not the true leaders of actually the Patriotic Front, and they cannot lead the Patriotic Front. So let's rush to the Daily Mail, newspaper, and there's an interesting Mao Sampa out on 1 million kwacha bail.
I think that is the same headline that's actually on Real Times. So I think that story marries in terms of the headline. So I do think this has really been an interesting story of the week. Don't you think so? It has indeed been the highlight of the week. And on the Real Times, it also goes on to say, as Mao Sampa, Mouse to Freedom, as Patriotic Front members are given Luvinda's advice to practice sleeping on the floor. So are we seeing a lot of PF members being arrested anytime soon?
No, I think we've seen a lot of PF members being arrested of late. That is why in our previous conversation, I actually talked about how prompt the police was to arrest and question Mao Sampa on what he did, because they only made that action after the president spoke.
Yeah.
So it became a crime after the president spoke, which is not supposed to be the case. Things are supposed to happen in a prompt way, and if something wrong has been done, it should be sorted out and looked at that particular point. We should not wait for end. But let's see what the outcome is, because Mao Sampa aikana mulandu akana teve is not guilty. So let's see what the courts say, and we can talk and see and make
absolutely
comments after.
Yeah. So for those of you that missed that story, earlier he appeared before the Lusaka magistrate Webster Melumbe, charged with the use of computer and computer system for offences, a charge under the 2025 Cybercrime Act. So it is alleged that he shared fake information, claiming that Electoral Commission of Zambia set up a fake polling station in the recent Chawama parliamentary by-election held on Thursday last week. And the bill was 1 million.
That's a lot of money. I need that money.
Can change your life.
It can change my life. I can take it to Palawana right now.
All right, so we're going to be having more interesting things to look forward to right here on the Sunrise Breakfast Show. But we will take a short break. When we return, Dominic is going to talk to a Lusaka-based psychologist, Darlington Mwendabai, who's going to be talking about a lot of interesting things. So don't go away, just stick around for more.
welcome back. You're watching the Sunrise Breakfast Show coming to live on Topster, channel 110, and streaming live on our Facebook page, that is Ptv2 Zambia. We're also streaming on our YouTube page, that is Ptv2 Zambia. Please step into the comments section and let us know that you're watching. Stay engaged. And if you've got questions to ask, please put in the comments section. We'd want to hear from you. Now, many men face deep emotional and psychological challenges, yet struggle to talk about them, from financial pressure to unemployment pressure, that breaks down to grief, drama, and we are expected to be strong. Now, joining me to unpack the silent battles that we men face is a critical, Saka-based psychological coach and thinking coach, Mr. Darlington Mwendawai. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Dominic, and good morning, viewers.
As I said, please don't be so deep.
It's Friday and it's men's talk, so we need.
I don't want to be a captive to be captive today, and start to share my grief, and you are there comforting me. I'm speaking on behalf of the masses, so be light on me.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at one of the books that you co-authored, Mental Health Matters, and why mental health is everyone's business, and ways to promote mental health in Zambia. This is quite an interesting book, just from looking at it and the content that it has. I think we should read this book. But let's delve into the conversation, and let me go into the first question and ask. Men are often socialized to be leaders, providers, protectors. What are some of the common mental health challenges that men face today?
Okay, maybe to begin from, so at least we can able to help each other. So when we talk about mental health, I always just simplify it. Since we talked about simplification, don't worry. When we are behind the desk, that's why we learn this very hard stuff, and I'll make sure that those big terminologies are simplified.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that at least the essence of the discussion and people we can appreciate.
Okay.
So when you talk about mental health, this is just how. Let me just say, when I talk about mental health, it's just how happy you are.
Okay.
And mental health illness or mental health disorders, it's how sad you are.
Yeah.
So now the question is, why do you find yourself, happy, and why do you find yourself, sad? And so the World Health, Organization, from that word happiness, where I've derived from, it just simply talks about, the key word that you find in the definition of the mental health is well-being.
Yeah.
And when again you go deeper into that well-being and break it down, you find the word happiness. Okay. And happiness, it's very interesting. Again, when you look at it, it has got a different, interesting elements. And in this case, I think all of us know how happy we are.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we know why we are sad. And these are some of the issues that we're able to share. So one of the many things that makes, a man, and I'll be biased, where the women and the girls, they were able to relate, since we are talking about us men.
Mm-hmm.
And so what makes, a man, sad? One, the key that has been found, globally, including us in Zambia, is depression. These are hidden, scars, behind the silence. You'd see the anger, you'd see the withdrawal that comes in, and we're able to dive more on why should somebody withdraw, why should somebody, show the anger. The number two, one of those common issues that you find, anxiety disorders.
Mm-hmm.
This is constant worry about finances, about family, about performance. And the third, is substance-related disorders, especially, alcohol and drug, abuse. So you find that people drink more than they should. And then the fourth one is the trauma-related disorders, often rooted in the dysfunctional family backgrounds. So by dysfunctional, in this case, I'm talking about, you are coming from a family where you do not know what love is. And I have my own definition. It's not a World Health, Organization definition. The love deficiency syndrome. This is where, you lack, the ability to feel that you are loved.
The love deficiency.
The love deficiency
syndrome.
Or in short, you are lacking. Love is not enough.
You're not confident that
you don't feel that you are loved.
Okay.
Or in short, there's lack of love that you are experiencing, and these are the issues that you see that a lot of men, starting from the younger ones, when you are young, you may not even have heard the word "I love you."
Oh yeah.
Okay. Every time in the morning, you are greeted by being scolded. You're a bad guy. You don't work. You do this kind of things. You are sent to do at the awkward time. You know that you need to go to school, but then you are sent very far, and no one even hug you. They don't. So you are growing up very cold, and then you try to start asking yourself at a tender age, who could this be really my real parents? And that, as you grow in adolescent and young adult and eventually an adult, you carry these scars silently or loudly. And then we have also the suicide-related thoughts and behavior or suicide ideations. So these are the main 5, common, mental health, illnesses or disorders, which does, affect, a lot of men, and which makes them to be aggressive, or there's what we call displacement, meaning that if you want to become a good boy, and you will see, I'll even cite some few, even our famous footballers and a lot of people. So you see that sometimes hard work is not necessarily because you love it. It is an escape that you really want because there's something that is going inside you. And talking about even anxiety, and even now, and it has come at the right time, this discussion. Yeah, it has come, Dominic, at the right time.
Okay.
We are getting to month end.
Yes.
And we're getting to weekend.
Oh yeah.
So you see men who drink a lot, not because they have got a luxury of spending more, more than they could spend for themselves. Yeah, but you see that one of the things that is going to cause a lot of men to start having anxiety, it's the little salaries that they get.
Okay.
It has to, even before they themselves decide how to spend it, someone else has already decided on how they should spend. You have got SOS, messages coming to you, and even now here, the grade 12 results are out, the Form 1s are out. No, Uncle Dominic, send me this much money. Send me this much money. Girlfriends are all over asking. Wives are asking.
Actually, wives are not even asking. Actually, wives are there to actually write the budgets for us. These are supplementaries. SOS, Machan. Those are just supplementary things. They'll just come and inform us to say, actually, because probably they know how much we get paid, and they just come to say, actually, because they know at in drama is a seed. Actually, anapasa you.
Yeah.
And phone kopeleka drama za so and this needs to happen, and probably sometimes there might be tragedies like a funeral, an accident, sickness, and I feel this all contributes, and those are just supplementaries. But are women actually the ones that in the forefront to actually make these things work for us? And just a follow-up question: why do you think us men fail to actually come out and talk about such things? And why is it that we choose silence over speaking about these things?
Yeah, it is cultural thing. I always encourage us men to learn to say no. It's not being strong and become financially unwise the way we normally come out, because we think that if someone is asking you money, like now, we work hard, as men. You wake up early in the morning and you sleep late. Okay?
Yeah, we work very hard.
So you find that the money that I'm going to generate before I think I'm supposed to use it. If you look at a lot of us men, even the way we dress, you look at the women, how they dress, the children, how they dress, there's a big, difference. Because you yourself, you're not going to pay too much attention, to look, all that good, because you are thinking of others before you think about yourself.
True.
And when you try to think about yourself, you are being told that you're selfish. So you find that self-care, self-love becomes, something that is not even a priority to you. Okay, so you are ever stressed, because the little money that you are getting, I get 100 kwacha. The whole of it, 100 kwacha, someone comes and robs you. Okay? So I call it emotional blackmail. Others call it black tax. Yeah, so you find that...
My terminology, is that black tax?
Yeah, so you find that you are here. As I've said, you look at how much, then someone is going to make you borrow when you're not supposed to borrow. Okay, so you are living, a life that is more stressful. You seem to be a smart guy, regardless of whether you are educated or not educated. Okay, it's simply because you haven't learned how to say no. And say no start from those that are close. Remember, those that are not close, they'll not bother you.
No.
But the so-called people who love you, they tell you to say no, they love you, but yet they are stressing you. They are stressors. Because anything that stresses you, it's a stressor. So one of the closest stressor for men are the people that we live with, are the friends. They learn that you are just from a workshop. They start asking, boy, ni Pasco drama so, ni Pasco. And yet you yourself, when you are trying to reach out to them to ask for help, they are nowhere to be seen.
So these mental health issues are not basically influenced by just women. They're also influenced by our peers and those that are close to us.
Yes, there are internal factors as well as external factors. Okay, internal factors has to do sometimes with your gene, with your chronic illness, with also lack of self-esteem, and with also the inability to know who and what you are. And actually that's the biggest, because as a man you need to know, who am I, a man? There's a difference between being a man and also being a male. And so if you do not know these differences, you just live by the script that others have already, done for you.
Oh, yeah.
So you're just falling in, okay, man, you can see some of the tired scripts that you have, real man don't cry, okay? But to cry. Us psychologists, we are saying real men cry, because Nanga, what are the tears for? You have never asked, what do the tears, what is the use of a tear?
Just like the song that, is it Abo Chungu sang, Mamuna Samalila,
No, real men cry to remain mentally fit. And those that do not cry, they are suppressing their own, feelings. The battles that they go through are so immense. And this is, you can even see even the type of the songs that they sing. You will never see such type of men singing happy songs. Any man who pretends to be, because remember, you are not in a show. You are not in a show. It is your happiness.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't need to please anyone when internally I am sad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because whom am I please? It's very difficult to please people. So first of all, take care of your own mental health. And how do we take care of our mental health? Is for me to be happy, so that when I'm happy, I become productive, I become creative, I become innovative. And so lack of innovation is inability for you to spend a little more time to understand why are you a man and what is hindering you to be happy. And these basic questions, once they are answered, then you realign your thoughts. There's no need for you to focus on sadness. You are going to focus on happy things. And these happy thoughts, they are going to help you navigate whatever challenge that you are. And from the critical thinking point of view, I always ask these simple questions in my therapy and in my sessions to say, what are your 7 happy thoughts? So early in the morning, you need to dwell on these happy thoughts. You reflect on those because they'll realign your thoughts. They will help you realize to say, well, the problem, if you don't solve it, the problems will solve you. Okay? Yeah. So you need to have that ability and the skills to solve all these challenges that we have. And how else are we going to do it if, first of all, you are dependent on others to define you? That you are a man, you need to cry. So what if you don't cry? So what? Does that mean that it's a sign of weakness?
Mr. Mwendowai, you know, we have heard and we have seen and we've heard reports that men are usually delayed to report these issues. What barriers actually prevent men from accessing such services, and how available are these services for men? Because I've heard you do therapy. How available are you, and how prompt have you come out to talk about such things? Because of course, I don't even know where to go and report if I'm passing through something, because I'm actually learning right now from you. So what are the issues or what are the barriers that women face?
Yeah, largely it is our norms that we have created surrounding and who's supposed to, as I've said, those that have defined us earlier, our forefathers, our parents, our parents, and even in the media, the narration that we have been given is that you don't need to be, you need to be strong. So the definition of a strong, again, we haven't gone further to say what does it mean to be strong. I'll give you an example of I like following these giant two players now, Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
So if you look at these, how they are playing, how do they do that? From the psychological point of view, you are interested to look at how were they upbringing, what kind of environment did they grow up from? From my little research is that I think Messi had a syndrome, a growth syndrome that hindered impaired him to grow. Mm-hmm. And on the other hand, Ronaldo is coming from a dysfunctional family where the father seems to be an absent father, or the father had really some issues, and he was much brought up by the mother. And you would sit there by McDonald's, someone would bring a McDonald's thing as he watches as a young person, and is brought into an academy at the age of 15, whilst the other one is brought into an academy, football academy, at the age of 14. So notice that in terms of academic, they couldn't really function.
Oh, yeah.
And in terms of skills, they managed to function. And where did they show their anger from? Messi used, instead of getting into drugs, they decided to invest the energy into football. So all those energy went on, and that's why you see the way sometimes people would compare the two. Why it seems Messi calm, this one seems to be arrogant. It has got everything to do with the way you have been brought up.
So there's a lot to do with mental health.
Yes. So all these things, even actors, a lot of actors, journalists, behind the cameras, we've been promoting, about mental health and men to speak out, and not to feel ashamed. And this, in the past 2-3 years, when we brought these campaigns, we have seen, a tremendous, reception. There are so many services now that people are seeking. I do offer the critical thinking therapy online, on-set, visiting, institutions and others, and also under our association, the Psychological Association of Zambia.
Oh, yeah.
The members are also offering different types of services. So now we have seen in Zambia that a number of people now have started, looking at mental health from different perspectives because of a lot of awareness, and kudos to the media because we could not have, done this and brought in the awareness because the next time that you talk about mental health, you'll be asked about suicide.
Oh, yeah.
What is suicide? I think it's because of the limitation also about psychological services, that psychology is a broader field, and mental health is just one of the small aspects, about psychology services, because it is the study of the mind and the behavior. And so when you look at organization, education, psychology, consumer behaviors, it's broad. And mental health is one of those that are able to do that. And we want to thank, the men who have come out in open and to share their stories. And this has strengthened, the fight on how we are supposed to live a very healthy and, happy life because of the men that are now speaking. And also one of those things that have really disadvantaged us is that we are the only people who have taken self-stigmatization.
Okay.
I always sit with the other men for the last 2-3 years. It had been, my personal agenda. I said, look, even in this constitution that we have amended,
yes.
Again, you could see that we're perpetuating the mental distress. We're perpetuating again the discomfort that men we are fighting for, because everyone is fighting for his own right. The youth have indicated to say we are the youths. They receive a lot of support. The women, since the Beijing conference, they receive, even if you look at CDF, a lot. First, as men, we give them money. From CDF, they get. Anywhere else they get, just as I am a woman. So our sisters, our mothers, our wives, they benefit, economically, socially. They have a lot of support.
Okay, so Mr. Mandawai, finally, what message would you like to share to other men that are struggling silently and are watching this program? What message would you have to say in a snippet?
Yeah, in the year this year going forward, just make one resolution to be happy. Don't make so many things, and how to be happy, we were able to assist each other as a man. And to be happy, one of the reasons that you need to start to do is learn to say no. So starting from this month end, anyone who is asking you money, do not give out money. Don't dish out money for those that are emotionally blackmailing you. And learn to have self-care. And self-care, because your financial distress is as a result of you being, thinking that you're a boss. You give out money to even your own family. If you haven't planned for that, then it leads to financial stress. And if you look at the suicide that the police gives us, one of the major things that makes men to commit suicide is financial stress.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming on the show. We value your association, and we hope to have you next time.
Thank you very much. My pleasure is mine.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Virgis. You watching the Sunrise Breakfast Show coming to live on Topstar, Channel 1 and streaming live on our Facebook page, that is Ptv2 Zambia. We'll now take a short break, but when we return, we'll have Rhoda lead an insightful discussion with an intersex advocate. Please stay with us. See you after the break.
When news breaks, we are already there. Welcome to Ptv2 Zambia, the channel that never sleeps. From community stories in your backyard to national headlines shaping the country and sports and international updates that keep you ahead, we bring it all to your screen. 24/7 news, fast, reliable, unmatched. Catch us on Topstar, Channel 110. Watch live on Facebook, Ptv2 Zambia. Prime TV2 Zambia, your window to the nation, your gateway to the world.
All right, welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. We do appreciate your company, and thank you so much, Dominic, for that interview with our guest. That was very insightful and very, very educating when it comes to mental health and how exactly, you go about it and the important things to know as well. So he does have a book. You can look him up on Facebook to see how you can get one of those copies and just enlighten yourself with the knowledge and understanding of the importance of dealing with issues to do with mental health. And I hope that Dominic, I think he's somewhere around the studio, whatever you are going through, I do hope that you're not fighting silent battles. I do hope that you try to open up and, speak to somebody about that. All right, now moving on with our Sunrise Breakfast Show. Do not forget to visit our Facebook page. That is Ptv2, and of course join in the conversation this morning. Now, there is an issue that society often pays little attention to, and when it does, it is something met with barriers, misunderstanding, and of course discrimination. Intersex persons are rarely spoken about, despite the fact that they exist in significant numbers, and sadly there's so many myths and misconceptions that continue to surround the intersex variations. So to help us better understand these issues, I am joined by Mpaso Sakala, an intersex advocate who is working tirelessly, of course, to educate the public and push for inclusion. We do have him online. Good morning, Mpaso, and welcome to the Sunrise Breakfast Show.
Good morning. Thank you, Rhoda.
All right. How are you doing today?
Well, and it is my sincere hope that you are doing well too.
Absolutely, I am. Now, you have been actively educating communities and advocating for inclusion. Can you kindly share your personal story with us, and how did you find the courage to speak openly and begin advocating on intersex issues?
What I can do is first start by what motivated me to start. Then I'll just give some examples from my lived experience. If it's a book on its own, so I'll just try and see how I can summarize to the benefit of the viewers. Yes. So what motivated me in the first place to start this work was the issues that I was actually going through as an intersex person, because accessing or even just understanding who I was, that I was an intersex person, was a challenge on its own. So the time that I started researching and I got to actually find out that I was actually born intersex was the start of also having the interest. But aside from that, the first question I asked myself was, if I myself was struggling to actually access different services, be able to navigate life like everybody else, what is it like for a child who is born today? How is it like for an adolescent that is out there in society? How is it like for an adult who has lived in silence from the time they were born? Yeah. So that's how I started actually gathering the courage to start speaking about these things. But overall, my motivation was mainly sparked by that child that cannot speak for themselves. Also noting that there was a huge knowledge gap. That is actually what drove me to do this work. And even up to this day, it's what drives the work that I actually do. Coming from personal experience, I would say I'll touch a bit. How many minutes do I have to answer this question?
Just a few minutes, but would love to hear the important part.
Okay, so I'll talk about, because when you look at issues affecting intersex people, they affect different spheres of life. So we can talk about issues around education, for example. How was it like? It wasn't easy, because for me growing up, in as much as something I should also share is that I was raised on the female side, in as much as society actually saw that I never carried myself as one. That posed a lot of challenge, because I was an intersex person now was growing towards aligning themselves on the male side, and here I was being raised on the female side. So it was a bit of a challenge, and also for society to actually understand who I was a challenge to the extent that it went to extent of name calling. And yes, people would make fun of you. You are just a girl that wants to actually look like a boy, all those things. Or even give you nicknames like tomboy, boy girl, all those things. And even when it comes to interactions, it becomes so difficult. I would even say socialization was hard because in a quest to avoid all those name callings, all those things, the stigma, the discrimination that came with it, especially it was, I would say it was easier because people did not actually know that I was actually an intersex person. All they saw was this young girl that wanted to actually make themselves look and behave like a boy.
Now, sorry to cut you short on that, Mpaso. Now, obviously,
intersex is biological and not a lifestyle choice. And like you said, a lot of people continue to face stigma and discrimination. Now, why is that? Is it because many people confuse intersex with gender identity or sexual orientation?
To some extent, yes. And adding on top of that, it's the myths and misconceptions that surround the existence of intersex people. We've seen, I think, many other times that I'm asked to say, what is it that you're advocating for? Are you advocating for sexual orientation? Are you advocating for gender identity? So there is that actually mix up in terms of people trying to actually explain what intersex is. So there are different things. When we talk about intersex, we are actually talking about the biological makeup of a person. And in this instance, we are talking about sex characteristics, which actually, in simpler terms, we are talking about the sex of the person. So they are actually different.
Wow. Now, discrimination often begins at a
very age. Like you did explain your situation growing up. Some it's within families, schools, and even health facilities. What kind of challenges do intersex persons face in these particular spaces?
So I'll start with school because I was already there. So with school, what happens is that because of the little understanding, mainly you find that there's a lot of stigma and discrimination that intersex people actually experience, and that pushes them to actually drop out of school. So the challenge that is there because of what I've shared or because of stigma and discrimination is that we have high rates of school dropouts from among intersex persons. So that is one of the challenges that intersex people are actually facing. When it comes to the medical fraternity, I would say the health space, there are a number of them. So when you talk about babies, talk about children, there's unnecessary surgeries that are actually happening or that are going on or being performed on intersex children. Another thing is that when it comes to access to health that speaks to the bodies of intersex persons, it's not adequate. We have healthcare services available, but they are not speaking to the needs of the bodies of intersex persons. So that is another challenge on its own. The other challenge that we've actually witnessed and also seen and also learned from the community members that we work with is that there is a lot of issues around privacy when they visit these facilities. You'll find that an intersex person is not well. They go for consultation. Before they know it, it was just one doctor or one healthcare provider attending to them. Before they know it, there are more than 10 in the room, which makes them so uncomfortable, and issues around privacy are not upheld, actually. They feel that their privacy is not respected. It's like they are being used like they are learning objects, for lack of a better term. So it makes them so uncomfortable to actually access or even visit healthcare facilities when they are not actually feeding well. So I think those are some of the major things that we can talk about. Maybe lastly is issues around, would say there are intersex persons that will need to go on hormone therapy to balance their hormones. You find that these are not commodities that are available at the facilities, so it's also hard. And also when you talk about health, health is pivotal to the lives of intersex persons because it also contributes or speaks to acquisition of national identity documents. So what is it that I'm saying, or what do I mean when I say that? It means that when an intersex person, for example, I said I was raised female and I grow up and reach a consenting age, or I reach adolescent age where I know who I am or which side I want to align, it becomes a challenge for me to change my sex marker and gender marker on my national documents without a medical report from the medical facilities. To get that report is not as easy as going to consult with a doctor and they write it for you. You also have to undergo a series of medical tests, which do not come cheaply. And many of the intersex persons, they cannot afford. Because we've seen that most of the cases that are reported are from families that are not actually well-to-do. So families would prefer that they use the little money that they have to feed everyone at home than to actually dedicate or allocate that money for just one intersex person in that family to go and have tests done. So it becomes a challenge because these medical tests are actually expensive.
All right, Paso, thank you so much for that information. Now, I would also like to find out what impact does this have on individuals later in life, talk of emotionally, psychologically, and socially as well?
Emotionally, psychologically. Hello, Paso, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. I lost you for a moment.
All right,
I'm not sure.
Good, we're back.
Did you get my last question?
No, I did not.
Right. So, what impact does this have on individuals later in life, be it emotionally, psychologically, and socially as well?
So it actually does have an impact. So when you look at issues around issues to do with stigma, discrimination, and isolation, it actually makes someone have loss of confidence, which you find that it actually becomes so hard for them to express themselves and be able to actually reach their full potential as an individual. Then the other thing is that when it comes to issues around surgeries, they have psychological trauma that actually even extend into their adulthood. So you see with issues around surgeries, also there's issues of scars. And some of these scars, you find that these are scars that don't completely go away. Because I'll give an example of a C-section. I've actually heard mothers who complain when it's cold because that scar does not completely heal. So now we are talking about an operation on someone's genitals. That is soft tissue. So we can imagine that actually the pain will actually be more that they will actually feel.
And finally, what can ordinary citizens do starting today to become allies and obviously help build a more inclusive society?
So what people can do is that they need to start including intersex people in their conversations. It starts there. That's how inclusion starts, because there's a huge knowledge gap. So if many people are actually aware and they learn what intersex is, what are the challenges, what are the needs, and how can they actually be better assisted or supported, it will be much, much, much better. So the first step is to actually start including intersex people in their conversations. Secondly, if they do not have the knowledge or understanding of what intersex is, they need to start taking the interest to learn and understand what intersex is. Because for you to become a better ally, you need to understand the group that you want to be an ally to. There is no way that you can be an ally if you don't know what their issues are, what their challenges are, and how they can be supported. So it's from there that people can actually be better allies and be able to ensure that advocacy is scaled up, sensitization is scaled up, to ensure that intersex people also have an enabling environment within our societies where they can be able to live dignified lives, just like anybody else, and be able to thrive and also be able to contribute to the different societies where they come from and overall to our country as a whole.
Pastor, thank you so much for joining us this morning and for the amazing work that you have been doing in the community. Definitely, a lot of us need to be sensitized or to be knowledgeable about issues going on with persons, intersex persons in our society today. And definitely, we have been challenged. We need to be advocates as well and speak for people who cannot speak for themselves to end the myths and misconceptions. For now, we take a short break. We'll be back on the other side.
When news breaks, we are already there. Welcome to Ptv2 Zambia, the channel that never sleeps. From community stories in your backyard to national headlines shaping the country and sports and international updates that keep you ahead, we bring it all to your screen. 24/7 news, fast, reliable, unmatched. Catch us on Topstar, channel 110. Watch live on Facebook, Ptv2 Zambia. Prime TV2 Zambia, your window to the nation, your gateway to the world.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove, love in a pie, that's the life we know. From the fields to the table, every bite it shows. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Mama in the kitchen, we never eat alone. Primarily me, the taste of home.
Prime Mill Meal, pure, proudly Zambian, the taste of home.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Sunrise Breakfast Show coming to live on Topstar, Channel 1 and streaming live on our Facebook page. That is Ptv2 Zambia. Please stay in the conversation. We're also live on our Prime Television Zambia Ptv2 YouTube page. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you want to say. Give us your input. We've had very interesting conversations, and we're yet to have a very interesting conversation with, I'm joined by Ngalande, the National Coordinator of the Fight Inequality Alliance Zambia. And just an interesting... Mr. Ngalande, first, how are you before I even give a comment?
I am fine, and how are you?
I'm good. So, tell me something about the Fight Inequality Zambia Alliance before we delve into our conversation.
Fight Inequality Alliance Zambia is a social movement that fosters economic justice. Okay. So, yeah, matters to do with economic justice, making sure that the resources that we have as a country are economically distributed in a manner that benefits the larger part of the population.
Okay, that's good. So, Mr. Ngalande, you are currently leading a national campaign calling on citizens to draw the red line against the concentration of power and wealth in the hands of the few. What does this red line represent? Why is this campaign urgent for Zambia at this moment in our history?
You see from way back in history until now, you see that the divide that exists. Maybe in the 70s and the 80s it is a bit different, but now it is worse. If you go to Kajumbila now, you see that in few meters you see there's a village that even is struggling even to have water, is struggling to have any basic needs. And then the other side you see there's a lot of there's even airports that are being put across there. There's a huge development, and that development that development is being used by the resources that are mined in that particular area. So it is from that particular background that then we come up with drawing a lead line and making sure that the elite and the few people, and power is not concentrated or wealth is not concentrated in a few elite, most especially multinational corporations and the foreigners that come to our country. Our people must be the first people that benefit from the resources. For example, you will find that a community that has that mine is not benefiting compared to how much maybe people Lusaka is benefiting. You find all the resources are first of all transferred to Lusaka, and that particular community is not benefiting anything, and it takes time for them to benefit from their resources. And it is from that background that we're saying, as the citizens, as people, we must make sure that the right thing is done so that those communities benefit first before we even talk about, because how do you have something important in your house and the only thing you can see is that it being taken and nothing beneficial is there? The only thing they keep talking about is jobs, but those jobs, some of them when they are injured, you even see that the moment they leave hospital, after that they start struggling because they got injured when they were working in those mines. Those jobs cannot even give them the opportunity for their family to access high-tech health care. It is just, they're just discarded, and those are some of the issues that we must look at. We must, if you look at other countries, for example, those that have oil as the OPEC countries, you see they have used oil to their benefit, the benefit of the citizens, and that is very important, because this is a these resources that we have are depleting, and by the time they deplete, we might not benefit anything from these resources. Yes, we keep talking about reaching, the government talks about reaching 3 million metric tons of copper per year. Is that translating, when we reach that 3 million, will that translate into the development and the better living conditions of our people, more especially people that live in those areas where these resources are mined?
So Mr. Ngalande, let me try to bring you back to home. I'm a gentleman from from the roads of Palavana. So let's try to bring it down. Let's give an example so that we make some viewers understand exactly what you mean. So let's say, for example, today in Palavana we have a mine. Does that business need to benefit? How do you feel that business needs to benefit everybody else? Like, for example, you have a business in Palavana. You have a shop. Let's start from a shop. You have a shop in Palavana. How do you mean that that shop should benefit everybody else? Because you entered that business to make money for yourself. Mm-hmm. And you talked about healthcare. Mm-hmm. In that company, there are different types of personnel, there are different types of jobs. Of course, there's from the steward who cleans the place, gets a different salary from the one that probably runs the finance, and probably that person has got health services and. So kindly help us understand from this example what you mean by us not accessing certain things and us and the community not being able to benefit. Do you mean CSR, or do you mean what really?
How really is corporate social responsibility is at the mercy of the investor. And like you have said, these people come and their main purpose is to make a business and to make profits there. Mm-hmm. So CSR is at their mercy. They can decide to do CSR. But in an ideal society where there are resources, because remember, when these people come, one, the environment, they destroy the environment. Mining
so this fight is just against those who are foreigners, not Zambian investors.
Even Zambian investors, but the larger part of the culprits that have done damage to our environment, that have not contributed enough to the development of this society, of these communities where they're mining, are foreign investors, right? So when we talk about corporate social responsibility is at the mercy of that particular company. They can decide to do that or not. Yes, you might agree in a contract when they're coming in that country, but there are other means. For example, if you look at countries like Botswana, they'll say this particular mine is owned the community 50% and the investor 50%, or 30% the community and the investor 70%. That 50% goes into a community fund.
Do we have do have any business in Zambia that is 50% owned by someone and 50% owned by?
No community in Zambia owns a company from that sense, right? And that is what our campaign is about. We want communities own some percentage of that particular company that comes in that community. Yes, we have companies, for example, that are owned by government. Government has shares through they have shares of that company. For example, in Mopani, they have shares there, right? But the issue that we're talking about here is that how does the community benefit from the resources? The marginalized people in that community, how do they benefit from the resources? Not at the mercy, because there are certain mines that have a mining there and they're making a lot of money, but the road, when you look at the road itself, it is not even to the standard, like there are no minerals that are being mined there. The road is very bad. The only thing that they are concerned about is about maybe creating an airport so that they can airlift those resources. And on top of that, the policies that have been implemented, you make mineral royalty tax deductible, right? Mm-hmm. You fail to get a windfall tax. Like right now, we are experiencing the highest prices of copper, and we do not have a policy of a windfall tax. If you look at Chile, which has the same resources of the same copper, right? They introduced policies of windfall tax. When the prices of copper go up, the amount of taxes that you get are higher because the price has gone up, right? So that is not implemented in this country, and hence.
So you anticipate that when the prices of copper, like the way they are now, the price of copper are high, of course. So the price of copper goes high, the tax still remains the same.
Yes, still remains the same when the people are making a lot of a profit. That is the reason why the mechanism of windfall tax was introduced. When you make exorbitant profits, You must, the people and the society where you are getting these resources must also benefit. It is not just for the investor to benefit because the prices have gone up. It must also benefit the citizens.
So what you're saying is paying in royalties is not at percentage, but there's a specific amount that you pay.
When mineral royalty tax is made deductible, is that when a mine at the end of the year they can decide and say, oh, actually we made a loss, so we want the taxes that we paid back. Right? That is the effect of when you make mineral royalty tax deductible. And there are a lot of stories, reports that mines keep saying they are making losses. When in the actual sense, when the actual investigation is done, you find that they actually made profits, but they keep declaring losses.
Do you have these investigations? Have you, as your
their report? It is in public domain. It is public record. If you read the mining report, if you read the World Bank reports, you will find these information. If you search for documentaries online, you find documentaries.
You talked of these companies failing to even build roads to their mines. The government has significantly increased this CDF, Constituency Development Fund, representing a key tool for development and centralization. Why do you still feel that they should build roads? Is there a law that they should start to build roads in these places of operation?
It is the agreement that when these people are coming, that must benefit the people. From the word go, we must collect enough taxes. There is no need in a country that is rich like Zambia for us to continue borrowing money, to go into debt. It is unacceptable because we have enough resources, we have enough policies that we have failed to implement. The policies that we can implement to make sure that we collect enough revenue by making sure that we do not make mineral royalty tax deductible, we introduce windfall tax so that we can then get enough taxes when the prices go up, when the exorbitant prices are made. So the issue of saying CDF, there is no constituency. There is no constituency. There is no constituencies that is going to tell you that they can build a road in CDF. How much is one road, 1 kilometer of a road to make a tarmac of 1 kilometer? It is about 5 million, right? Now 5 million, 1 kilometer, and you have 5 wards, and each ward has a certain apportioned amount. So when we're talking about no CDF, but CDF has increased, there's no CDF, there's no, if you want to build one road, that whole CDF of that constituency might go to one road. So it is the whole aspect or myth of saying, but why this road is bad, but CDF has been increased. CDF can't build a road. And no wonder you see all these roads that are being done by central government because they can apportion a lot of your budget.
So you are of the assumption that CDF cannot...
It is not an assumption, it is reality.
But you want these businesses that come into these different places to build roads. Do they have the capacity that the CDF does not have?
How much money are they making? How much million? They are making a lot of millions, and if we collect enough taxes, we can be able to channel these resources, right? We can be able to channel these resources because copper and the export of copper is our largest exporter. Copper is our largest exporter. All this development, the bigger developments that we're doing is because of copper. That we keep exporting.
Mr. Ngalande, your organization and argument is based on the development of the people and the people owning and the people having a power in whatever business entity that is there. I'll pose a question. Has CDF has the enhancement of the CDF truly empowered the ordinary citizen, or has it just shifted to the local political goalkeeper? What is your say on that?
It's 50-50. You see, there are community projects. For example, you want a borehole as a community. That has become easy. You can make an application and get that borehole. You want to, CDF has not built any full-fledged school because, like I mentioned, you find for you to build the whole school, right? the whole school, you might need maybe 20 million kwacha, right?
Yeah.
That is a substantial amount of CDF. But if you want a 3x1 classroom block, you can get it through CDF. That will cost maybe 1,700,000 kwacha, right? That is possible. So CDF has done some community. It is a good tool for community projects. They see here you want a maternity wing, you want a market shelter. Those are projects that can be done by CDF, and a lot of projects have been done, and that is from the perspective of the development that we have seen. The increase and that development coming in that direction is a plus, because the community now can. The good part about CDF is that the community itself gets to decide what they want in that community project. But for the capital projects, the capital project is unfair to then say capital projects, for example, like roads, and then you say, but CDF has been increased, this road is bad. It is unrealistic, because for that road to be done, it is a lot of money that is needed, and the only people that can do that is central government, because they have large budgets.
So, Mr. Ngalande, we are 7 months away from the general election. In your assessment, has the United Party for National Development, the UPND government, lived up to its promise it made to the Zambian people, particularly to the poor and marginalized?
No. In terms of the cost of living and the standard of living, there was a lot of promises of making sure that the cost of living will be reduced. That was not done. That was not done. We got on the extended credit facility with the IMF, and that extended credit facility even caused a lot of hardships for our people. The services became very food became more expensive, fuel became more expensive, and it was very difficult for our people to make ends meet. And it is from that perspective. Yes, the microeconomics, we might be doing well on paper, but doing well on paper in terms of economics is that it must translate to people benefiting on the ground and making sure that they can afford their daily lives in a manner that is very conducive, and that has not been done. And there are a lot of things that come up during elections, and now we'll see things becoming a bit better, and then after elections again we go back in the same cycle. That is
beyond political slogans. Where has the government clearly fallen short in addressing inadequate unemployment and the high cost of living?
You see, for example, how much is a bag of mealie meal, and what was the promise of how much the bag of mealie meal will be at? You know that the larger part of the workforce in the informal sector, the larger part is farmers. You know that peasant farmers, small scale farmers.
Oh yeah.
And the difficulty in paying them so that they can go back and farm for this particular season, for the last season, the difficulties and how long it has taken for them to be paid. That in itself is a danger, right? That is a failure on the part of the government, because we need to take care of the farmers so that we can continue having food security. And that was not done in a manner that it was supposed to be, had to be done. But yes, there are excuses. No, we wanted to buy these metric tons of what, but we bought more. But the issue that is there is that as a father, when a challenge presents itself, you must put it as a priority. The way we have put other projects as priorities, we needed to put the farmers as priority so that they are paid, they go back and do the farming for this particular season. That was very difficult. We have farmers sleeping outside there. That is a part of the failure on the part of the government.
Okay, so Mr. Ngalande, we've had a very insightful conversation, and of course we've had a conversation that we're supposed to have probably in 1 hour, but we've had it in a few minutes, and would like to talk more and get a proper insight and talk about these issues in an objective point of view, we've come from the community setup and how communities should actually benefit from businesses and should own also businesses and enterprises. And we've also gone to the fact of where the government has failed to fulfill its promises, and you're holding them accountable. And I feel would want to have a brief, not just a brief discussion, but would have to talk about this in in depth and look at it through an objective lens, and would like to call you back later. But for now, we are grateful for association, and we're happy that you're here on set, and would love to see you more often coming to our show.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to come and speak on these very important issues for our country.
Thank you so much. There you have it, dear viewers. It's you watching the Sunrise Breakfast Show, coming to you live on Topstar Channel 110 and streaming live on our Facebook page. That is Ptv2 Zambia. And we're also streaming on our YouTube page, which is also Ptv2 Zambia. Please let us know what your comment is, what you're thinking. But for now, we're going to take a break. And after the break, we're going to be on set with the man of sports who speaks sports, runs sports, and talks sports, the sports analyst, JC Blaze. See you on the other side.
When news breaks, we are already there. Welcome to Ptv2 Zambia, the channel that never sleeps. From community stories in your backyard to national headlines shaping the country and sports and international updates that keep you ahead, we bring it all to your screen. 24/7 news, fast, reliable, unmatched. Catch us on Topstar Channel 110. Watch live on Facebook, Ptv2 Zambia. Prime TV2 Zambia, your window to the nation, your gateway to the world.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove, love in a pie, that's the life we know. From the fields to the table, every bite it shows. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Mama in the kitchen, we never eat alone. Primarily me, the taste of home.
Prime Mill Meal, pure, proudly Zambian. The taste.
When news breaks, we are already there. Welcome to Ptv2 Zambia, the channel that never sleeps. From community stories in your backyard to national headlines shaping the country and sports and international updates that keep you ahead, we bring it all to your screen. 24/7 news, fast, reliable, unmatched. Catch us on Topstar Channel 110. Watch live on Facebook, Ptv2 Zambia. Prime TV2 Zambia, your window to the nation, your gateway to the world.
All right, welcome back to our Sunrise Ptv2 Breakfast Show. And of course, we do have quite a number of things jam-packed for you on a beautiful Friday like this one. Now, of course, the Zambia Under-20 Women National Team is in the heat for preparation for the third round FIFA World Cup clashes against Uganda to be staged on February the 7th away in Kampala and in Ndola a week later. So we do have JC Blaze in the studio with us to, give us more on what's going on in the world of sports.
Well, it's a very good thing that the under-20 and the senior women team have already started preparations, which is a good thing, because if you look at the last WAFCON where Nigeria beat us, humiliating 5-0, we didn't prepare that much. The preparations was not really that much, but at this particular moment, the coach has already started preparing the teams, and we're hoping that this is going to be better. For the under 20, it's a good thing because we saw that the under 17 qualified to the World Cup, qualified to the Africa Cup of Nations as well. So they have to emulate the same things. And of course, they've been really fantastic in terms of the COSAFA Cup. They did well. They were really outstanding. And for them, it's just about preparations. When we prepare, we've got the material, we've got the players that can make a difference in terms of playing against Uganda. Uganda is not a pushover in as far as women football is concerned. They've really been better. Of course, they are, not really a pushover. And I think we have to prepare adequately for us to be on the right direction. And for the WAFCON, of course, we know that we are in the same group as the defending champions, Nigeria, and a lot of fans out there, they're getting a fever of what really transpired. We haven't even forgotten that we were beaten 5-0 by Nigeria, unanswered goals. And of course, this time around, we've met them in the group stage. So it's going to be a very tough encounter for Zambia. We've got Malawi. It's a derby for Zambia. Of course, we know that it's always difficult to play teams like Malawi. It doesn't matter the experience because Malawi has qualified for the first time to the Africa Cup of Nations, or WAFCON as it is called. But I feel for me it's always a difficult game, especially that they understand us. They know how we play. We know how they play. It's almost similar. We play the similar kind of football. We use a lot of energy, a lot of power, a lot of speed. That's what we use in most cases. So it's going to be very tough. And then we've got Egypt. Egypt who qualified through the playoffs, but obviously they're not a pushover. And they've really improved so much. They've really been outstanding in as far as women football is concerned. So it's going to be really difficult. But then there's always something that is coming up. Of course, we know that we've been invited to FIFA Series. And FIFA Series is a kind of football, women football that was introduced in 2024. So it will be coming after 2 years. So after 2 years, in 2024, it happened. And it will be happening every March. So, and now here is the thing, because when it comes to WAFCON, we've been changing dates. We've been changing months of having WAFCON, depending on the hosts. So this time around, we're having it in March. So Zambia has been invited to go and participate in this FIFA series because they pick teams that are doing very well. So WAFCON, the Copper Queens have been invited to go and play. We are in the same group as the likes of Brazil. When it comes to women football, Brazil is a really big mark, and globally they've been fantastic. They've played very well, and playing against them is going to be a dream come true. But then the problem is that we are having WAFCON in March, and we are having the same series in March. So I don't know how FAS is going to work so that they have the other Copper Queens going to play in this FIFA series, and the other team playing in the WAFCON. I think we need to find out from Football Association of Zambia, because this invitation is coinciding with the WAFCON or the CAF engagement that we have to have. And basically, for WAFCON, we have to go. No matter what, we have to really go. We have to honor that. If we don't, we'll be summoned, and of course, we have to pay. So we will be penalized. So those are some of the things that we have to look at. But I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. And this shows one thing. Obviously, we don't respect our football, because if you have the calendar, you need to have it specifically on the month that is specific. You remember that we were just having the Africa Cup of Nations. We changed to having it in August, July, August, but all of a sudden we changed because Morocco were hosting a lot of tournaments, so they needed to have it in December, which we removed. We never used to have it we used to have it in December, January. Remember when we won it in 2012? We had to win it we won it in the other month, which is December. Yeah. But we got the cup in January, so we won it in January. So you see, we used to have it December, January, but then it changed because of we needed to confine with what FIFA calendars and everything. Why don't we have our own, we just stick to something that is specific instead of having it depending on how the host feel like? No, it's not supposed to be the case. We couldn't have had this problem that we have at this moment of having a team that is supposed to, be in two different tournaments at the same time. And the tournaments are very important. Of course, if you look at the friendly games that we play, if you're playing against Brazil, this is a big thing, but we do not have the chance to play such kind of quality-friendly games. We only play against Malawi, we play against Africa, and but we needed to have this FIFA series to gauge where we are in terms of if we qualify, because the Africa Cup of Nations is also a qualifier to the World Cup. There are 4 teams that will qualify into the semi-finals, will qualify to the World Cup. So this is, if we were to qualify to the World Cup and we go to the FIFA series, it's going to help us to gauge ourselves where we are globally. So I don't know how fast it's going to do it and how it's going to work out for them to participate in the 2. Then we also have, coming back, we've got continental football. We have the Continental Envoys, Power Dynamos, who are the defending champions in Zambia. Of course, they will be playing against Rivers United of Nigeria. It's a very huge game for Power Dynamos. They have to win it. If they don't, they're out of the competition. They will be playing the last games just for formality's sake. They haven't won any game. This is the 3rd round. This is the 4th round that they're going into. They haven't won any game. They are 0 points at the bottom of the table. So they have to really win this particular game if they have to have the chances of going into the knockout stages of the CAF Champions League. And then we've got Zesco United. This game is going to be on Saturday at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium at 15 hours. The tickets have already started selling. So for those of you who'd love to buy tickets and go and support Power Dynamos, this is the time for you to get those tickets. And then we've got Zesco United. They're playing Kaizer Chiefs. It's a big team. Obviously, a lot of people have heard it, and so many people are really looking forward to this particular game on Sunday at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. And the tickets are on sale. Even those that are in Lusaka, you can buy tickets from here as you are going. All the Zesco departments or Zesco places we can go and buy at the headquarters of Zesco Limited. The tickets are on sale, so you can buy from there as well. And other outlets, Zesco Kabwata, I think they're selling tickets as well for those of you who'd love to travel to Ndola on Sunday. But then Zesco as well, in the CAF Confederations Cup, haven't won any game. So this is a time for us to win this particular game if we were to stay in the competition and get into the knockout stages. Remember that winning will actually help us to get back the 4 slots. It's like we get some points, more points are achieved on how teams are participating or performing in these tournaments. So back in the days, we used to have 4 teams representing Zambia. In the CAF Confederations Cup, we used to have 2. In the Champions League, we used to have 2. So meaning the number 1 and 2 used to play in the Champions League, the CAF Champions League, and the 3, 4 used to play in the CAF Confederations Cup. But now we only have 2 slots because we haven't really been performing up to expectations. The last time that a team did well this far was Zesco United, who played in the, lost in the quarterfinals, and they did well in the semi-finals, and they did well at that time. So we are expecting them to do better, but it's unfortunate that they haven't won any game. They're looking forward to winning at least against Kaizer Chiefs. If they win, it will be better for them to get into, I think they'll have their chances of getting into the next round of the competition. And then we've got the local league. We've got the MTN Fast Super League as well as National Division 1 League. So in the MTN Fast Super League, we've got FC Muza against Nkana. That's a very big game for Nkana. They were out of relegation zone just for a while. And then after some of the other teams won, they have to be dropped back into the relegation zone. So they have to win this particular game against FC Muza. Red Arrows are playing Mighty and Freo Wanderers. Mighty are pushing to get into ABSA because the teams that are supposed to qualify into ABSA. So we're looking at the 4 teams that are in National Division 1 have already qualified and already confirmed the teams that are going to play ABSA. But for MTN Fast Super League, we still have some battles that are going on for them to participate in ABSA. So Mighty and Freo Wanderers winning against Red Arrows. We're also fighting to get back the top position that they used to be on top of the table. Power Dynamos are leading the pack, so they need to really win this particular game against Mighty and Freo Wanderers, who are also pushing to play ABSA this season. So it's going to be a very tough encounter, and one of those games that we should be watching that are going to make a difference. And then we also have, and one thing that I actually know is that, first of all, the MTN Fast Super League teams are not consistent. I think they're predictable, and they change every now and then. So we might be seeing some of the changes this week. And of course, we do have the Leopards. After releasing some of the players, they've already released the coach. They've got an interim coach that have come in as one of the assistants, and some of the other coaches have gone after being beaten by Kansanshi Dynamos. So those are some of the things that I'm looking forward to this weekend, and we hope for the best. And lastly, as we go, countdown for the big one. Of course, we do have another futsal team that is participating, or that is getting ready this month, that will be playing the qualifiers for the Africa Cup of Nations futsal team. We hope that they will do better against Ghana. Last time around when we played at the Africa Cup of Nations, we managed to get into the knockout stages, just a game away from qualifying into the semi-finals for us to qualify to the World Cup. Unfortunately, we couldn't. We were beaten by Morocco 13-0, and yeah, we lost against Angola. But in the qualifiers, we beat Mozambique, and this time around, we're playing against Ghana. So home and away is going to be one of the games that we have to look forward to. They're already in camp, and they're already training. Andrea Cristoforetti is looking forward to the men coming through and do better against Ghana.
Yeah.
And another countdown on the 31st of January, we should be having a fight that is going to be the ABU, WBC Bantamweight International Goats International fight. The defending champions Sniper Mwale will be defending his title against Milozi from Tanzania. So it's going to be a crunch match as well. Everybody should be there. Government complex. The tickets are on sale as well for those that would like to buy. It's Compu tickets. So all you have to do, and of course you can also go and buy from I think North Mid. Yeah, there's a place where they're selling these tickets. So you can go and buy and support Sniper for him to defend his title.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that update. I guess there's quite a number of interesting things to look out for over the weekend.
A lot of them.
Right, now something to take note of from social media. Zambian midfielder Cletus Chama, aka Triple C, has actually returned to Tanzanian giant Simba SC 1 year and 6 months after leaving Wekundu wa Msimbazi. Of course, Simba took to social media to announce the return of their midfield maestro. Now, of course, Chama has since been included in Simba SC's traveling squad to Tunisia ahead of their crucial CAF Champions League clash against Esperance de Tunis. And of course, Mwamba Walusaka, as he is fondly called, spent a year at Simba's arch rivals Young Africans and 6 months at Singida Big Stars, and now returns home for his third stint as well. So we did see that update on social media. Of course, we do.
And we're happy for him to get back into
Absolutely, absolutely.
You remember that when he was left out of the Africa Cup of Nations bound team, he wrote on Facebook page and brought a lot of talk. Bola Nawiso. I'm sure you saw that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just a conversation. A lot of people talked about all these things. But I'm glad that he's back at Simba. Yeah.
And of course, he is a favorite fan in Tanzania.
Yeah, he is. He is. I think it's more because he played very well in as far as local league is concerned. But when it comes to national team, he hasn't really inspired that much. So he's got a massive support in Tanzania. So when he moved to their rivals, African Giants, I think it was a lot of talk in Tanzania, and a lot of people didn't like it. They wanted him to stay because he was instrumental for Simba. So going back is a good thing, and I'm only hoping that he's going to do better.
What a legend he is.
He is in Tanzania.
Yeah. All right, so we take a break. We'll be back on the other side to wrap up our Sunrise Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to watching the Sunrise Breakfast Show coming to you live on Topstar, Channel 110, and streaming live on our Facebook page, that is Ptv2 Zambia. We're also streaming on our YouTube page, that is Ptv2 Zambia. Let's read some comments, those that have in our comment section on social media. We have Sarah, who says, great submission, fighter, general. Then we have Natasha, who's responding to Mr. Ngalande, saying what he is highlighting concerning the CDF and introducing taxes instead of MRTs. If we want real development, we need to be in charge of our own resources. Then we've got Friday following live, and we've got OGD saying one powerful and watching from within Lusaka, and he is enjoying the show. Please continue to engage, and we value association. What do you have to say for these people that are commenting? What encouragement do you have? What encouragement do you have?
Well, thank you so much for your company. Everybody who's been watching, be it at the office, in the comfort of your homes, we are definitely grateful for joining us on this particular Sunrise Breakfast Friday edition. We must not forget that it's a Friday. What are you going to be doing on Friday?
Today, I'm going to Palavana.
To do what?
That's home. I'm going to see my family. I'm going to see the community.
Okay.
There's quite a lot of things going on in Palavana. The road is bad, so we come together and we're trying to fix and make sure that it's possible, because it's an inconvenience to everybody in the community.
I guess it's going to be a productive Friday for you.
It's going to be a big event.
Some of us are going to be here for the rest of the day. Yeah. So with that said, do enjoy the rest of our broadcasting. And of course, do not forget to keep the messages coming on our social media platform. And to close off the show, do you have any quote of the day?
Quote of the day. The spirit of Ubuntu is very important. We live for others. I think that's what's important, and we should have that in our minds.
Yeah, I did come across something that's on my mind. When you overcome the love for power, the power of love will gain. Anyway, let me not say that. Chizungu chapere.
Mr. Musa will tell you the word. He just comes up with weird words. I don't know where they come from.
Let's enjoy our Friday, though, and we'll be back on yet another exciting edition on Monday. From me, Rhoda Mlenga, and my co-host, Dominic, it is goodbye and enjoy the rest of your Friday. We leave you with some money markets.
All right, goodbye. God bless you.
Yeah,